In Business Tonight, telcos and other stakeholders need to work together to develop and test innovative ways to utilize 5G. The call was made by Communications and Information Minister Josephine Teo, who also says telcos must build cybersecurity capabilities to win trust. She was speaking at a Singtel event announcing the expansion of its 5G network in Singapore and new use cases. The Republic is on track to offer nationwide 5G coverage by 2025. Geraldine Yap with more.
Here at Pasir Panjang Terminal, containers are moved by automated cranes, which can be remotely controlled if needed. Thanks to an ongoing 5G trial, the latency of images received by crane operators has been reduced by up to 75%. And that means less lag, allowing operators to react more quickly to any situation. To come up with more 5G use cases like this, Communications and Information Minister Josephine Teo says partnerships between government, telcos, industry and research institutions are needed.
Welcome, Minister. Thanks for popping in.
She appeared as a hologram beamed from another location when she spoke at a Singtel event on Monday. That's also something made possible with 5G.
Building the 5G infrastructure is only the start of it. Imagine an app store with no apps for us to download. Likewise, 5G infrastructure itself cannot deliver magic without actual use cases being developed, tested, and scaled up.
But as adoption of 5G expands, Mrs. Teo says there is potential for new cyber risks.
5G is more software-based, which opens up new potential vulnerabilities. Digital infrastructure must be secure. Consumers and businesses must have confidence that our 5G networks are resilient. It is important to uphold Singapore's reputation as a trusted player here and abroad.
At the event, Singtel unveiled several new use cases, including 4K live streaming of the Sea Aquarium and immersive cultural and art experiences.
Not only will 5G give us a boost to the digital adoption we have seen, it will spur unprecedented innovation to unlock immense value for both enterprises and consumers.
Singtel's 5G network now covers over 2/3 of Singapore, and indoor coverage has also been expanded to cover more major shopping malls.
For more on cybersecurity as we move into a 5G world, we're joined by Professor Benjamin Ang from the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. So, Professor Ang, the 5G system is software-based. So, what kind of vulnerabilities does it open us to?
Well, first of all, being software-based is a good thing. We don't want to scare people off 5G. Software allows the network to be changed by software instead of you having to put in hardware, and that enables all the functions that you saw in the video clip earlier. The downside is that software is also easier to tamper with than hardware, and if you can tamper with it, you can get into the network. And there'll also be more software components, which means that there are more opportunities for tampering. And this software will be found in many smart devices, whether it's smart cars, smart TVs, all the vehicles that are being used. So there are also usually not very well secured in these smart devices because they are built to be fast and cheap. So they'll also be targets. And also there'll be a lot of data being processed because the network is faster, which also makes them a more juicy target for hackers.
So you and I, as users, how can we protect ourselves as we move towards 5G?
We need to make sure that we observe cyber hygiene. We need to make sure that the devices that we use, the smart devices, are those that are secure. They have password protection available if possible. And if there's a cybersecurity labeling scheme that cybersecurity agency is rolling out, make a preference for products like that so that we are making sure that we are using safe products.
And how will infrastructure need to be enhanced to help businesses with this shift? And also, which industries will be most affected by vulnerabilities in connected devices?
Right now, lots of industries are exploring 5G. So you could find them in remote work, find them in our homes, in our offices, in schools, in healthcare, in logistics being used. And so we'll have to make sure that all of the smart devices that are being used in these implementations and the networks are designed with security in mind. And also the networks, when they're designed, 5G allows for this thing called network slicing, so that even if a hacker gets into one part of the network, it won't be able to move to the other parts. All these needs to be put in place before it's rolled out.
And Prof. Ang, authorities have said that they will tap on AI capability to detect threats. So how does AI fit into this whole 5G rollout?
Compared to 3G and 4G, 5G can handle a lot more data and much faster. So it's not possible for humans to monitor the threats. That's why in the network rollout, AI is needed to monitor for threats and catch it automatically.
And Prof, before we go, what are some of the cyber attack trends that you've noticed of late, and are they here to stay?
We've noticed that ransomware is on the rise. Even small businesses are getting targeted for it because it's so easy for the criminals to do it. And supply chain attacks where the software that we trust and use has already been infiltrated with bad code. But really, it all comes down very often to bad cyber hygiene. And we need to take care of our passwords. We need to take care of what we click on. And with some of these very basic steps, we can actually protect ourselves from a lot of threats. And especially as we go into a 5G world, we need to make sure that we are careful and we are safe in this 5G world.
Oh, thank you, Professor Benjamin Ang from the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies.